A crisis unfolding on our southern border, and President Obama blames Republicans and asks for more money to solve this problem. Welcome to a brand new hour, everybody, of America's Newsroom. I'm Martha McCallum.
And I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning. The border is still open. No sign of a breakthrough in the political stalemate. Everyone demanding action with no agreement on what to do. President Obama pointing his finger at Republicans as he demands billions in emergency money to handle the surge of illegals crossing the border.
Meanwhile, you've got House Speaker John Boehner slamming the president, saying that the finger pointing is getting a bit old.
This is a problem of the president's own making. He's been president for 5.5 years. When's he going to take responsibility for something?
Strong words from John Boehner. Brett Baer joins us now, anchor of Special Report. You heard John Boehner. He says Republicans are sick and tired of being blamed for what he sees as inaction in crisis moments from this president.
Yeah, Martha, I mean, there's a lot of frustration all around here, and some of it stems from what the president said at that press briefing, giving a speech down in Dallas, and then taking questions, really hammering Republicans on this supplemental, the $3.7 billion. It's worth noting that the specific law, as we've talked about many times, dealing with sex trafficking, enabling these Central American kids to be here as opposed to being turned away at the border, there is not a piece of legislation, a legislative push from the administration as of yet to change that law. So they've put up this supplemental and for the $3.7 billion. But they have not put up any specific request to change the law. That is something that many people see has to happen before these kids can get on a plane and speed up this process to get them back. Republicans say that's the president not pushing for it because he wants this issue and he wants them to stay.
Yeah, such mixed messages on this from the White House, and you just pointed to one of them, because originally the White House suggested that they felt that law should be changed, and then they kind of dropped the ball and didn't really do anything about it. They also, Josh Earnest said he thought most of the kids would be deported because they didn't fall under the humanitarian clause of that law in the first place, but now that seems to be a move that isn't happening either. It's hard to tell where the president really stands on this issue, is it not?
Well, it is, because you've listened to him say, I'm going to use my pen and my phone. You remember the speech a few weeks ago, so sue me, about all of these executive actions. And yet when it comes to this, it is, wait and see what Congress does, wait for this supplemental. They're trying to speed up the process in these hearings, but understand that 55,000 hearings is a lot to get through, and that means that these kids will be here for a long time if that's the process by which they get turned around to go back.
The president says, he needs that money. Jay Johnson said we're going to run out of money by mid-August. We need to get this signed right away. It's an emergency, hair on fire. We need to take care of this right away. Republicans, typically, as they typically do, are saying, where's the money going to come from? Let's figure out a way to, not add to the budget in doing this. That seems to be where both sides get stuck on pretty much everything, Brett.
No, that's true. And there is this analysis of this request, specific analysis, because Republicans argue that a lot of this request deals with actually keeping them here and funding HHS efforts to move them around the country, and not as much on the turning them around and stepping up security at the border. It's also important to point out that security at the border, this instance, does not really factor in that much, because these kids can turn themselves into Border Patrol agents there on the border, and we still have to absorb them. It's a very complicated thing, and you can't explain it in one easy bumper sticker, but there is a sense that the administration has not yet put forward a change to this law that would directly affect it right away.
Yeah, and they're, continue to pour across the border, and the White House continues to appear somewhat surprised and, put back on their feet a bit by this that a lot of people felt was coming for quite some time. So you're right, very confusing, and a lot of things that need to be answered. Brett, thank you very much. We will see you tonight.
Okay.
Karl Rove fired up about this issue, too, in his attempts, the president's attempts to blame Republicans for the crisis, at the same time asking for billions to pay for it. Here's Karl with Greta.
Does he want to get something done? If you want to get something done, don't go insult the people that you need to get the thing done with. He should be consulting with Congress. He should be going over the $3.7 billion he wants. He should be open to changing that number, reducing it. He should be open to changing what he wants to spend it on in order to get the thing done. And instead, he comes to Texas. Have we seen the details of his proposal? Has he sent it to the Hill? No, but what we get is we get insults. Pass it now, even before you've had a chance to digest it and review it in the normal order of things.
So we ask you at home or the office or on your mobile device today, Twitter question, was it worth it to go to Texas in the end? Hit us up at Martha McCallum and at Bill Hemmer. We'll read some of your thoughts and responses throughout the show today.
Doesn't appear like so far anything's really happened as a result of any of that exercise, but let us know what you think. Weigh in on that at twitter.com. Martha McCallum and Bill Hemmer.